What's the point of making a video like this if you're not going to take it seriously? The lighting was terrible, and the cameraman is clearly in the early stages of Parkinson's. Step your game up. This is a sentiment I think pretty much applies across all creative disciplines. If you found your passion, no matter how niche or how uncouth people in the general public might find that you do it for a living or even as a hobby, you should be putting your all into it. If it's a hobby, like sure, you don't need to be good at a thing to enjoy it, but certainly if you have some passion for it, you're at least interested in the inner workings and like want to see people who do it to its like greatest extent excel at it, right? Hi again, fellas, and today we're back on comments from the hub, the subreddit from it. I can't say the full name, it's too early in the video. I'll probably stop self-censoring a few minutes in at least. I figured it was about time we came back for round 3. It's been over a year since the last one, and I wanted to catch up on all the greatest hits from comments on the hub. Apologies if there's any repeats, it has been a while. My memory is a little hazy, and if you think I'm gonna watch back my own videos and listen to my own voice, hell no! Hell no! But if you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to the last time we participated in this sort of thing. And also be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an upload. This is Pete. I stopped jerking off and made some popcorn and started watching this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It feels nice to like see someone out in the wild really excelling at a creative discipline that you are yourself might just be a fan of, but appreciate the craftsmanship of nonetheless, even though you might not make it yourself. Like, when did trying stop being cool? It reminds me a lot of that Timothy Chalamet video essay I made, which nobody ended up watching, unfortunately. But like, he had a speech where he actively asserted that he is inspired by the great actors and athletes and everybody that came before him, and that he is actively seeking out to be like them and counted amongst their ranks by the time he leaves this mortal coil. At everything you do, if you want to do it meaningfully, at least try. It doesn't matter if you fail. I know it's generic advice, but I feel like I've been battling years of like Yoda quote propaganda where he's like, do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. Shut the fuck up, dude. What the fuck would you know, you old fucking frog? You lost to Sidious when Windu was packing that guy up like on his own. I don't want to hear shit from you, man. What's your greatest feat? Lifting up an X-Wing? That quote has done so much damage. In the most generous reading of that quote, you can say that this maybe applies to Jedi exclusively. But guess what? None of us in the real world are Force-sensitive Force users. We are all regular people who have to actively improve at things if we want to get better. So yeah, we try, we fail, we get back up, try again, maybe fail again, until we get where we want to be. Sick of this defeatist attitude and just like the really elitist smarmy philosophy that Yoda holds. How do I get wood in Minecraft? Punch a tree. I like to imagine that someone is given just a mean-ass haymaker to their penis, like their big-ass boner, trying to get like a block of wood out of it. Peyronie's disease, you know, the shit that Chris Chan has on their penis, where it like gets bent out of shape while it has a boner and then it calcifies stuck in that position. I'm no doctor, so I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure the only way to fix a broken boner is the same way you fix a broken bone that healed incorrectly, the way a Peyronie's disease penis has. You gotta break it again and put it in the right position. Hope it calcifies correctly this time. Fun stuff going out in the wild. Here we have a comment that is straight out of like the year 2018 down to like the deep friedness of the screenshot. This thing has clearly been passed around more than a twink in a frat house. I've used that joke on like 3 or 4 separate occasions. If you guys can find all of them and make a compilation, send it to me on Twitter at Kwite. I'm actively doing it more than once because I like seeing if people notice. But like, listen to the shit these guys are saying. If K is a substitute for okay, and some people call their grandpa Pop, could K-pop be a substitute for OK Boomer? I mean, sure, if you want us to like buy into all the prerequisites you set up to make that pun work. And the reply is also very of the era. Like, this is like decently clever word, but it's using internet parlance that's been cringe for like at least a few years at this point. My guy, I'm here to blow my load, not my mind. Oh my god, you're so clever the way you put together OK Boomer and K-pop. I'm gonna fucking shoot myself on camera and make you watch. Encouraging words. I hope I keep getting comments like this one that I can tie into the video's wider theme of it being cool to try, and self-improvement is a noble pursuit. Even if you don't achieve the perfect vision of your grand self you have, in pursuit of perfection, we may attain greatness. I feel obligated to disclose something I've never shared here in the comments section. I suffered a stroke, leaving the left side of my body partially paralyzed. This is from Scott Stark, who I believe was one of the actors in the video in question. So if you're wondering why I hold the controller weird, that's why. God decided that not only will I be autistic, but also physically handicapped. Luckily, he saw fit for me to come a lot, and that's why we're all here today. Thank God. I'm very sorry to hear about your stroke. Keep your heart up and mind in the right place. You're a king. Still great videos. Don't give up. Hey, I'm sorry about your stroke, but you can still put in those strokes if you know what I mean. Please correct me in the comments if I'm being insensitive with my rhetoric here in any way. I am genuinely curious as to this. When people say they have a stroke that leaves them paralyzed on one side of their body, in my head I always imagined that as like completely half and half. Like you can move one side and not the other. And I'm sure for some people that's true, but for most, it's probably like a spectrum of like certain parts of your body can't move. But let's use that half and half example that I was thinking about. Which side does your penis fall onto that will like decide if it's able to work still? Is it like which way your dick naturally slopes? If you get unlucky and it's the same side of your body that's paralyzed, is that when like you're not able to use it anymore? Or is it like connected to a more complex part of the nervous system that isn't as easy to define as left or right? Because if you think about it, there are like maybe 3 or 4 body features that don't have like a symmetrical equal on the other side and we only have in one version. There's like the penis itself, the nutsack's not included because there's 2 of those. Your butthole, your belly button, your mouth, and your nose. Like those are really the only things I can think of that we have one of and exists split down the middle. Huh, it's weird that almost all of those are like holes in some way. Even by like some definitions, the belly button could be considered a hole, but the rest are explicitly orifices. I wonder why the holes are always the parts that are dead center. Who posts AI covers on the Hub? I ask myself this question a lot. Why do people do most of the things they do on Pornhub? Like, who is making accounts on this website? And I'm not talking about people that upload to the site for a living or, you know, for some sort of joke. I'm talking about people who make accounts in order to leave comments and save their favorites. It's just not something like I think most people ever think to do. So when you see other people have accounts, which I'm gonna be honest, I've never met someone who actively has a Pornhub account, at least not that they've told me, which to be fair, they probably wouldn't. But like, is that really the best community space you want to have like a written account of you existing on? To each their own, man. It's just like not something I'd do. This one is just captioned on the subreddit as blasphemy. To lay with such an inhuman appendage is tantamount to cavorting with a beast. I will send word to the Pope of this blasphemy immediately. Jesus Christ, dude. I assume this was made when we had like the last Pope Francis, and I'm gonna be honest, he probably wouldn't have done much about it. That dude was pretty progressive for his station. I also need to look up what the word cavorting means. I'm sure it means some form of like having nasty freaky sex with something, but also it could be like have a specific negative connotation. Like there are words that mean the same thing, but using one over the other can denote some type of like emotion you have towards that. Oh, what the hell? It doesn't mean sex at all. Jump or dance around excitedly is the official definition, but the informal one is to apply oneself enthusiastically to sexual or disreputable pursuits. See, that's exactly what I mean. Having like intercourse with somebody is a very neutral way of saying you're fucking them. Cavorting is specifically punitive in its definition about the same subject matter. Now, the thing that I'm really confused about is that the informal definition is to apply oneself to sexual shit, but a word like cavort, can you ever use that informally? Like, it seems just too loaded and too big of a word to have anything but an official definition. Like, they making up slang with syllables that I can't even pronounce, man. For context, this was on lesbian porn. Am I tripping? Or does he not have balls? I won't lie, I've actually like had it mixed up both for me and with other people where like I just have balls so fat, but like maybe somebody's tucking, so like the balls are the only thing showing up in the front, so somebody just looks like they have gigantic pussy lip. And also vice versa, like some people just have pussy so fat and voluptuous that it looks like they have a ball sack down there. And this is not punitive in either direction. I think it's totally fine either way. You know, just another one of those fun little observations we have on the Kwite channel. We have a good time here, guys. We like to joke around and just, you know, all that stuff. Is he to blame? Oh no, man. We are like in Am I the Asshole territory here. I told my girlfriend to find a man who she wanted to be with while I watched. What a mistake. It was supposed to be one time, but now he's here every night, and they go in the bedroom and fuck it. It's all I hear. Am I to blame for this? I think there's a level of responsibility the girlfriend has here with how enthusiastically she took to the proposition and having gone on with it like several nights in a row, man. And if this is not something you want to be associated with or in your love life, I think you owe it to yourself and honestly to your girlfriend to break it off. Don't keep yourself in this toxic situation that you just really don't enjoy being in. Listen, I'm not much of a voyeur or a cuck, so I really don't understand like the impulse to like want to watch someone fuck your wife other than Drake fucking my wife who doesn't exist. But the point is, even you feel like it's gone too far, and you need to use the safe word even if it's been like a month into this shit. See if she remembers. If she doesn't even know what the safe word is anymore, then I think it's time to pack it up and get out of there, brother. He has a point from YoungBruh59. I believe porn is terrible for our mental health. Great video, though. Is that how you guys feel watching my videos? Supposedly, like, entertainment or your quote-unquote comfort creator are supposed to, like, bring you some sense of relief or dopamine hits at the end of a long, arduous day at work or college. But let me know in the comments below, would y'all say I'm actively making your mental health worse by doing what I do? I think there's a wider discussion to be had here about, like, the ethics of YouTubers being, like, really fucking evil and fucked up. Back to the hub comments. This is the type of classic Pornhub comment that I really like to see in here. Just, like, out of context shit that is just absurd to say and feels right at home on a site like the hub. This is probably going to get lost in the comments. If you ever say that, like, prefacing a comment you're about to leave, never assume that that is the case. And in fact, I don't believe you when you say that. I think you are leading in with that specifically because you want to bait people into interacting with you. But sometimes I rub my whole body in Vaseline and pretend I'm a slug. This is good news. We could be bees. You'll live for 30 years. Invincible brain rot, like, I thought would be out of my system by now, but it just keeps evolving into even more absurdist territory that I find myself laughing at it over and over again. Like, it's not even references to the show anymore. It's just essentially YouTube pooping the original source material and making something completely divorced from anything in the original narrative. Rare kink found. More with your Apple Watch, please. I wouldn't be surprised if there is, like, already a dedicated subreddit to, like, people liking it, like, when people wear watches when having sex. Like, sure, why not? It's probably, like, a rich man's game and a poor man's game to fantasize about. It's objectively probably one of the least harmful ones you can think of here. Such a gentleman. Oh, dude, I love stuff like this. I shower and there's no funny business. This man titled that video with a wide smile on his face with just a very comforting presence to him, I think. I hold hands with Ebony Girlfriend as she talks about her day. And that is the real fantasy for, I think, most people. I don't think adult content is, like, at all reflective of reality and of a healthy relationship. It's purely a means to an end for somebody in the middle of a gooner brain phase. I think most people would, like, want a loving relationship where an equal partner in the relationship loves them just as much back and they can give their 100% to each other simultaneously and mutually. Is that not what you want in life? I deliver you a pizza and don't put my wiener in it. I don't know, man. I specifically asked for sausage. Even chicken sausage is fine, but, like, I do like a meat lover's pizza, not even in, like, an innuendo way. I also had just thought of the alternate title in my head. Delivering a pizza and you have the correct amount of money to pay me in cash. No funny business needed. I give you my jacket because you are cold. That's just not something I do in real life, man. If you and me are on a date and you are freezing outside because you neglected to bring some outerwear, tough shit, man. That's your fault. I ride in a taxi and don't have sex with the driver. I disinfect the casting couch. Okay, that one's a really good bit, dude. I don't know who this dude is. I'd be willing to bet that he's mostly a comedian, and the fact that you can get these screenshots on the hub are the joke. And I think that's a nice, wholesome place to end it off. That card I mentioned should be on screen now. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and happy gooning.